So good morning. Welcome to the Sunday morning gathering for the Center for Spiritual Living Tahoe-Truckee. I'm Rev Pam Brandman, the senior minister here at the center, and it's my joy to welcome each and every one of you here. We know that there are many paths to God, and they all end in oneness and in love, and we're grateful that you have chosen to spend your morning here with us. You have many choices, and we're grateful that you're here with us. We like to start our morning with our receptivity statement that you'll see on the screen if you would read it along with me. I am here by divine appointment. Something I am about to hear applies to my life. I am open, receptive, and willing to explore the possibilities. So our musician this morning is someone who her life really is about what we're talking about this morning, awakening to your passion. And she's a singer, songwriter, and I understand she's going to be sharing some new unreleased music with us this morning. So it's really a privilege to have her here for this. But she extends her gift of music by bridging a connection between heaven and earth. And on her guitar case, you can see the sole purpose is love, right? Little double entendre there. So, but anyway, please help me welcome Kalyani.
Again, there we go. Well, good morning. I don't often make in-person appearances, and I'm thrilled to be with people. This is a song that was, I guess it's a chant that was inspired by Jetta Molly, who is a teacher from UK, and she talks about being of service and how sometimes we forget the being part. Like, what does it feel like, as we're doing things? Like, what does it feel like in our bodies? And just paying attention to that. This is actually, I wrote this week. I'm in service to my soul. I recognize my mind is learning to be quiet. I'm in service to my soul. I recognize my mind is learning to be quiet. And I don't need to know, just listening, I allow my soul to guide. And I don't need to know, just listening, I allow my soul to guide. I am your human being. What will you have me do? I am your human being of service. I am your human being. What will you have me do? I am in service to my being. I'm in service to my soul. I recognize my mind is learning to be quiet. I'm in service to my soul. I recognize my mind is learning to be quiet. I agree to play my part, agree to share my gifts, agree to share my presence. I agree to play my part, agree to share my gifts, agree to share my presence. I am your human being. What will you have me do? I am your human being of service. service to my soul. I recognize my mind is learning to be quiet. I'm in service to my soul. I recognize my mind is learning to be quiet. I am willing to make peace. I'm willing to make peace my contribution. I am your human being. What will you have me do? I am your human being of service. I am your human being. What will you have me do? I am in service to my being. I'm in service to my soul. I recognize my mind is learning to be quiet. And I don't need to know, just listening. I allow my soul to guide.
Thank you, Kalyani. I think she was been reading my mind as I was working on the talk for this week. And in the talk, the vision for CSL Tahoe-Truckee is empowering all and serving with love while awakening to the one. And that's your version of that very thing. So thank you so much. Well, our practitioner this morning is also someone who dwells in that place between heaven and earth. And she's practitioner Nancy O'Neill. And she's passionate about lots of things. Her husband Tom and her great large family, birthday celebrations for sure, spending time in nature, especially Lake Tahoe, and luckily for us, anchoring her busy life in with the spiritual inspiration that she gains through meditation. She led a beautiful meditation this morning on the
Nancy O'Neill's the practitioner today.
Yes, and we need to stay muted if you're online. Thank you. But anyway, I'd like to welcome Nancy O'Neill.
Pretty good, huh? Jeez. Where's that book? There it is. This morning's reading is from this book called The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. Anyway, so I'm going to read a poem from this book. Okay. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless, and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand on the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside where all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. Beautiful poem. So let's just take a breath and get centered in your place, right here, right now, and allow yourself to come within, to be still, and just allow all the minutia of the world outside, sometimes we call it the 3D world, to just fade away for a moment as we come inside and know what God is. All the beauty, all the love, the joy, the peace that surrounds us and is us, because we know that we are one. We are one with all those qualities, all that energy that we know of as God, as Spirit, as universal presence. And so in knowing that, I know this morning's service unfolds perfectly, and that there is always something to be learned, to grow, and to take home with us, and to think about and to contemplate. And so in knowing that, I'm just grateful for the spiritual community, for this time together, this time to really recognize our connectedness to one another, into this world, this magnificent universe that we live in. And so in great gratitude, I allow that to be, as we say together. And so it is. So I get to have Kalyani come back with another song.
That was wonderful. Thank you. Okay, that's the verse. So, I don't have anything to say about this one. I was created by love, a divine reflection of light. The power of heaven resides within. When I'm creating my day, I always have a choice. Which will be the voice I choose to listen to? As I create my life, I don't always get it right, and I know how it feels to fight. May I surrender? I call on the light. Oh, light of love, here is the peace I seek, and it's making all things right. Quiet my mind so the heart can speak. I was created by love, a divine reflection of light. The power of heaven resides within, a gentle stream of wisdom flowing through me. When I let it be, touches all creation. I call on the light. Oh, light of love, here is the peace I seek, and it's making all things right. Quiet my mind so the heart can speak. Quiet the noise so I can hear my heartbeat. Keep quiet inside so the heart can see. Sing with the divine. The power of love unites us within. I was created by love, a divine reflection of light. The power of love unites us within. I call on the light. Oh, light of love, here is the peace I seek, and it's making all things right. Quiet my mind so the heart can speak. Quiet the noise so I can hear my heartbeat. Keep quiet inside so that peace may reign. Ring it out, ring it out. The power of heaven resides within. The power of love unites us within. Supported by heaven's grace. Supported by heaven's grace. Within, always within.
Thank you, Kalyani. That's a perfect example of what I want to talk about this morning. When we awaken to that inner passion, it's about quieting our mind and listening to that voice of spirit within our heart, and sharing it with the world, right? So we're starting our August CSL theme today, which is My Passion, My Purpose. And today's topic is awakening to your passion, whatever that unique passion is that's divinely given. Each one of us has something special that makes us unique. That beautiful quality of joy and energy, and we're born with it, right? Although we may lose contact with that feeling of joy as we go through life and mature, it's always there, just waiting beneath the surface for us to rediscover it, to quiet our mind. And as we let go of trying to meet everyone else's expectations and rediscover that unique higher self within us, we rediscover our enthusiasm for life, that most of us had as children, that enthusiasm that will reveal our God-given passion, right? It changes everything when you come from the inside out, right? So we get to choose how we live our lives. When we choose to follow our divine guidance, we will be guided to wholeheartedly share those unique gifts with the world. Now, curiosity is a passion of many people. And here is one example of how curiosity has guided many people to discover their life's purpose and fulfilling careers. So there's a space rover named Curiosity that's about the size of a car, and it landed on Mars in August 2012. It was launched in November 2011, created by the Mars Science Laboratory mission as a part of NASA's Mars Exploration Program. Today, NASA and many Earthlings are still following Curiosity as it's exploring Mars, right? It's still in action. And Curiosity was designed to assess whether Mars was ever inhabitable or could be in the future. And it was named by 11-year-old Clara Ma. So here is her essay that won the naming contest. Curiosity is an everlasting flame that burns in everyone's mind. It makes me get out of bed in the morning and wonder what surprises life will throw at me that day. Curiosity is such a powerful force. Without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. When I was younger, she's 11, I wondered, why is the sky blue? Why do the stars twinkle? Why am I me? And I still do. I had so many questions, and America is the place where I want to find my answers. Curiosity is the passion that drives us through our everyday lives. We have become explorers and scientists that, with our need to ask questions and to wonder. Sure, there are many risks and dangers, but despite that, we still continue to wonder and dream and create and hope. We have discovered so much about the world, but still know so little. We will never know everything there is to know, but with our burning curiosity, we have learned so much. Right? So that passion, that creativity of life, it's there at the beginning, and as we get older, we become an adult. And sometimes our passions get buried and hidden beneath the responsibilities of taking care of our families and our business, whatever it is. So we become so adult that we can forget that unbridled joy of childhood, that we would lose ourselves while exploring a new playground or a campground, or pretending that we were our favorite musical artist, right, with the microphone, or just daydreaming as we watch the clouds go by. You know, I think that Kalyani has a post on her Facebook about an angel cloud, right? So when children are young, they let their creativity run wild and free. You know, if you just watch Rosalina on Sunday morning, you'll see that. They're not self-conscious or worried about what others think of their actions. You know, there's a minister, CSL minister, Reverend Lisa Carson, and she prepared the draft outline that was my starting point for what I'm talking about today. But in the August CSL theme talks, but she tells a story about a young girl named Lori, I think it's really Lisa, who was shy and introverted, and yet felt that she had something to share with the world. And so at age 5, she loved the energy and the aliveness from her father's flower garden in their front yard. And so every evening one summer, Lori was drawn to that garden where she walked up and down the flower beds, and she singing to the flowers and sharing her ideas out loud. Right? She was oblivious to the passersby as she confidently belted out her songs and spoke lovingly to our plants. I think maybe like our poinsettia that's still in beautiful bloom. Right? She came back day after day because she felt so energized, happy, and joyful. Right? And as Lori grew up, her shyness subsided. And she grew up to be a teacher, and then a minister and an international teacher. Her natural passions paved the way to a fulfilling life, moving her beyond her fears. Right? Now, this could be Reverend Lisa's story. She grew up in Paradise, California, where she began attending the Paradise CSL and CSL teen camp at age 14. After college, she taught for several years and then became an ordained CSL minister. Currently, she is the spiritual director of CSL Thailand, of all places. I can remember my children demonstrating joy and passion with that innate spontaneity and freedom. You know, my son thought that it was perfectly wonderful to wear a ballet tutu with a superhero cape, a little mask over his face, colorful rain boots, and a rubber sword as he saved the world, right? Of course, that's what you do. Now, my daughter Gabriella was a little more complicated. She loved to play clothing store in her bedroom. And so she would take all of her clothes out of the closet and hang them up wherever she had room to display them around the room and create her store. Now, I can remember walking in and seeing her clothes hanging from the bedposts, the lamps, the bookshelves, the windows, the chairs, everywhere. Just one big store. And just to make, get the impression correct, she made big sale signs, right? Like what she saw as a store. So for a few weeks at a time, as long as she could still walk through her room to get to her bed, my husband and I tried to let the store remain in place so her friends could come shop in her store. Right? But periodically, the store did have to close for a while so we could vacuum and dust and wash her clothes. But it was her passion. And she worked in several clothing stores while she was in high school and college. And she was also often salesperson of the month because she was so good at helping her customers pick out complete outfits, right? Not just one piece, but the whole, the jewelry and the hats and the shoes and everything that went with it, right? So Ernest D. Chu, not our Ernest, in his book Soul Currency said, "Watch children at play. For them, a cardboard box becomes a castle. Dolls become part of the family, and video games allow them to save the universe." Right? What gets them hooked on these things, right? It's they can be something greater than they are just in their little world. But they're planning for the future, letting that getting still and listening to that passion within. But sadly, in our society, we teach our children to suppress those inner passions and creativity. Their sense of purpose gets shifted, if you will. We tell them to be practical. You're never going to be an astronaut. You will never earn a living as a novelist, right, or as a musician. Superheroes with a cape, they're not real, we tell them. And that concoction you're making in the kitchen, you think it looks so great, but it tastes awful and you're making a mess. Now clean it up, right? What do we do to suppress that natural creativity? We shame our children and make them wrong for having unrealistic goals. But they're just discovering the world, right? What if we encourage them to discover the world on their own terms and to trust their inner intuition? What if we teach them to live their lives with joy, to be curious and creative, to think outside of the box, right? Too many adults find themselves living lives of drudgery and trapped in unfulfilling jobs just to fulfill society's expectations or to earn enough money to afford their expensive houses and cars, and it can seem pointless, right? In the poem that Nancy read this morning, The Invitation by Araya Mountain Dreamer, it was first written in 1995 and then in a book of poetry, and then she republished a whole book called The Invitation, which is about the meaning of the poem to her and how you can take that into your life. A fabulous book. But I can remember listening to this poem for the first time during a year when I was in that sandwich generation, taking care of my young children and my parents who were starting to need a little extra medical care. And then my first husband was diagnosed with cancer. So I was caring for 3 generations and still trying to work on occasion. And so I really identified with so many of those lines about my heart's longing and the resilience necessary to stand up to for what I was passionate about, right? She starts out with, "It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing." Right? Another line is, "I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for your adventure of being alive." Like, really being alive. The line that grabbed me the deepest, though, was, "I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children." Right? Get them to school. Araya reaches inward to that place where spirit dwells, to our inspiration and our passion for life with that line, "I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else fades away." You know, our passion and our inner joy, our zest for life is still there even when life around us seems to be dark and overwhelming. It is that divine spark that has created us. It is that divine passion that is always there. You know, the alternative to feeling that our life is like overwhelming dead end is to turn within and rediscover those inner passions, still our mind, as Kalyani was singing this morning. What is really important to us? Those passions, what we care about, what grounds us and connects us to who we are and what matters the most in life. You know, there's always something new to be discovered, to be created, to share with the world, to support someone else as they share their own discovery. Oprah Winfrey, in her book, The Path Made Clear, Discovering Your Life's Direction and Purpose, says, "There is no greater gift that you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born and how you become most truly alive." Right. Now, one of the interesting things is that when we're given this passion, our unique gift to the world, we're also given the means to actualize it, to manifest it, right? It's like two sides of the same coin, right? And so if we think we have this passion and we can't manifest it, well, we need to flip over the coin, and maybe we've got the world around us and we're insisting that we're going to go through this door. This one is it. It's got to be this one. And the world is 360 degrees around us. It goes up and down and around and forwards, backwards. There's other people. We only have one answer, and the universe is infinite. And so it's about opening up to really drilling down to what our purpose is, right? Is it love? Is it sharing wisdom? Is it supporting other people in service, right? So these passions, what we care about, they ground us and they connect us to who we are and what matters the most in life. It connects us to our source, to spirit. So we have to be aware that with that initial spark, that flame is always there. And by focusing our attention and actions with our desires, infinite wisdom will reveal a path toward our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And just by following the next step, maybe that's as far as we can see, we experience a feeling of inner joy, of recognizing the possible synergies that align with our passions. Our confidence and trust in the power and the presence of the divine, it grows as we find that we think we're stepping out on a skinny little twig, but we're supported. We're supported, right? We can see the potential power of the creative process to manifest our divine gifts and our purpose. We don't need to worry so much about being perfect as being fully present, right? You know, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be talking about how we align our purpose with our passion. And Kevin Cashman has what he calls the 3 Gs. What are our gifts that energize us? What are we giving to the world? And how do we need to grow? To develop and stretch ourselves to make the world a better place for ourselves and for humankind. We have these gifts, and how do we develop them into a full, mature gift to share with the world? But today, I want to focus on connecting with our passion as a divine gift that sustains us and supports us. In the Bible, in Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, who have been called according to God's purpose." Yeah? Michael always likes to talk about how the universe is conspiring for our good, right? To support that passion. When you're Christian Sorensen, who's the minister at CSL in Encinitas, in his book, Living from the Mountaintop, he says, "When your energy flows, your vibration is raised. The best you've ever felt is the result of this upliftment as the force moves through you with an unparalleled strength," right? You're on your game, if you will, right? Now, an example of how this happens is a man named Billy Mills. He was born in 1938 in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, a member of the Ogallala Lakota. He grew up in poverty on the Pine Ridge Reservation, and conditions weren't great there. His mother died when he was 8, his dad when he was 12. And so he started running to turn his energy into something positive, and running became his passion. In high school, he started setting records in numerous track events. He earned a track scholarship from the University of Kansas and graduated with a degree in physical ed. His college track team won 2 national championships while he was there. Right? Then he served as an officer in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve and was in the Marine Corps when he won gold in the 10,000-meter race at the 1964 Olympics in Tokyo. Right? Now, before the Olympics, Mills was largely unknown. So he shocked the world when he came from behind to win gold and set a new world record. He is still the only American to have ever won gold in the 10K event. Now, here's a quote following that Lakota teachings. He says, "When you know who you are, when your mission is clear and you burn with the inner fire of unbreakable will, no cold can touch your heart. No deluge can dampen your purpose. You know that you are alive." Right? Now, the 1964 Olympics were the first time that Americans were able to watch the Olympics on live TV. And so it was I'd like to share that magical moment with you in a brief recording.
An amazing finish by Billy Mills. And here we go.
He's 7:22.
Gold medal in the 10,000 meter. And up front is Bill Mills. He's pressing Ron Clark, the world champion. Bill Mills of the United States, number 722, is leading Ron Clark. And in third place right now is Mahout Gamuni of Tunis. A tremendous upset if Bill Mills can hang on. But Gamuni goes out ahead. It's Gamuni right now leading in the 10,000 meter. Ron Clark is third. Rather, Bill Mills is in third. Ron Clark is in second right now. This is the final lap for the 10,000 meter. The unheralded Mahout Gamuni of Tunis is putting on a tremendous sprint. He's out ahead of Ron Clark. Bill Mills, the United States, is in third place. And this will certainly be the fastest 10,000 meter ever run by an American. Here's Mills, who seems to be boxed in. Suddenly there's an opening, and here he comes. Here they come down the final lap. 10 Ron Clark, 10 Gamuni. They're going through the field. He's coming up. He's passing Gamuni. Look at Mills. Look at Mills. Look at Mills. Oh my God. Mills is coming on. It might be Bill Mills. What a tremendous surprise here. Bill Mills of the United States wins the 10,000 meter. Bill Mills of the United States, a tremendous upset, wins the 10,000 meter here. Unheralded winner from Kansas. Let's go back.
So it's yeah. So it's amazing, and he just did what was his passion. He loved to run, right? And all the things that he went through, and the announcer that was saying, "Oh, watch Bill Mills," and he was so excited. Well, they weren't used to having that kind of drama in the on television recordings, and so he actually got fired for being so excited about but anyway, it's a little different to these days. But now in the Lakota culture, they have a tradition that when you have great success, you give back to your community in gratitude for all the support that they gave you along the way. And so he helped found Running Strong for American Indian Youth and became their national spokesperson. And he's now 85. He lives in Sacramento with his wife of 60 years. And he still travels 300 days a year to speak to Native American youth about healthy lifestyles and taking pride in their heritage. And running, they sponsor a lot of different events like this to have a healthy lifestyle. So he's giving back. His passion is still fueling his life. Now, many successful adults have credited their achievements to the activity they naturally loved as a child. So find out what brings you joy. Notice what simple experiences when you were young erupted into that laughter and delight, right? Discovering your passion could be just a few mindless moments away. Let yourself take time to daydream. Let go of that container that you create with your self-conscious thoughts that keeps you boxed in, and instead free you and reclaim your purpose, your passion, and unleash the momentum of expanding into your purpose. Right? Trust the spontaneous options that show up during your day. Take a new path to work. Talk to that person you meet at the grocery store or on the hiking trail. Get down on the floor and play with your child or your grandchild. Dance as if no one was looking. Let your passion lead you to discover and express your divine gifts. Let's take this to prayer. So as we turn within, we feel that sense of joy, that divine sense of the presence of Spirit that is within us, that is that spark that burns within our heart. And as we still our minds, we know that God is wonder and beauty. God is wholeness and love. God is joy. One with all that is, for it has created all that is from itself. And we are one with that inner spirit. It is the truth of who we are. It is our higher self, our passion. And so take a moment. Take a deep breath and let your awareness travel back to a carefree and joyous day when you were 5 or 6 years old. What fills you with wonder? What makes your heart sing? Enjoy the moment and note how you feel. And now shift your attention to the present. When do you have similar moments in your life? How is that initial spark of joy and passion being expressed? Has it become a central part of a passionate and purposeful life? Or is it a buried passion that lies beneath the surface, waiting for a free moment to bubble its way to your conscious awareness? If so, let it out. Remember to come back and spend some more time enjoying your passion. And now think of a moment when you feel fully alive, a moment when the joy and passion you feel cannot possibly be contained within your skin. A moment when time seems to stand still and you feel in harmony with the whole universe. This is your God-given passion and your unique gift. And as you awaken to your passion and share your gift with the world enthusiastically, you'll find yourself living out loud. Not only is your life filled with joy, you are enriching the lives of everyone around you in big and little ways. It is so good to be alive. It is so good to connect with who we are. It is so good to feel whole, to feel loved, and to love. It is so good to share our gifts with the world. So good to be part of the universal life force that unfolds and protects each one of us, that guides us forward to express our higher self. It is so good to be dancing through life with joy and wonder and passion. I say thank you to the universe. I shout thank you from the mountaintop. I say yes to my life of passion and joy. And as I release these words, I feel the shift within my heart and soul. I am home. All is well. All is God. All is good. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. So I'd like to invite Kalyani back.
Thank you for that revisitation to that time when I was dancing and singing as a child. I danced right into the TV set. I got stitches right here on my third eye. Just one stitch right here. Maybe it was a benefit, who knows? Maybe it opened me up. This song was inspired by, sometimes it's challenging, like lately, being in a relationship. I don't know if anyone's having that same thing, but it's like, wow, that's me too. That's me, and this is all showing up as me. And I got this in the midst of some drama that was happening. I got a text from my partner, and he said, "I will stand in the light with you." And I was like, oh my God. I hadn't written a song for a long time, and I was like, wow, I was really moved. And so it became this song. You said, I think we're gonna make it. I said, I think I agree. You said, we're turning the corner now. You said, I think we're gonna make it. We don't know what's in store. I said, there's no turning back anymore. Will you stand in the light with me? As a love I will stand in the light and be. I will stand in the light with you. As a love I will stand in the light and be. I said, nothing's gonna happen until I forgive and be free. You said, stop your people, please and please. I said, I'm willing to stop and feel what is true. You said, I love the softer version of you. Will you move in the light with me? As love I will move in the light and be. I will move in the light with you. As love I will move in the light and be free. You said, I think we're gonna make it. I said, it's becoming clear. When I open the door to my heart, the light is here. Will you dance in the light with me? As love I will dance in the light and be. I will dance in the light with you. As love I will dance in the light and be free, lighting the way. When I lose my sight, I know the way back to my right mind. The love in your eyes shows me how to see the radiant one within me, who shows me the way. When I lose my sight, I know the way back to my right mind. The love in your eyes shows me how to see the radiant one within me. Stand in the light with me as love. Thank you.
I think you struck a chord there. You know, stand in the light with me in love. You know, I mean, that's in all relationships. There's you know, that love that brings us together, and we get so stuck in what we're doing and you know, feel like us against the world. Well, you know, it's a whole lot different when you realize that, one, you've got this partner here with you, and two, we are part of the world. We're a center of the world together, you know, and it's, I mean, we've got some big decisions happening in our center right now. And this, you know, when we come together as one and really listen with all of our hearts and minds and souls, you know, that's where we come up with the best answer for our center. So anyway, if you've been inspired by our today's gathering, this is our time to share our abundance with our spiritual community. And donations of your time and your talent and treasure to our center support our vision of embracing all, serving with love while awakening to the one. And so we're extremely grateful when you show your gratitude that CSL is continuing to make a difference in your life and in this community. It helps us stay in business and go forward. There's lots of ways to give. You can give cash or checks or make an automatic debit from your checking account. On our website, you can use the PayPal link, credit card, debit cards. We have Venmo now. And so, but it is all part of that law of circulation of good flowing in and out of our lives and sharing it with the world. So if you would hold your offering and your plan for it and read your the prosperity affirmation with me. In everything I give thanks. I gratefully and joyfully share my offering, which flows from God, my infinite source. My gift blesses this center and all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything gives me everything I need. God is my source.
And so we give thanks for these gifts that have been so generously and graciously given, knowing that it is part of that divine infinite flow that sustains us perfectly for all that is our passion to be here as this spiritual center in the Tahoe-Truckee area and support our members and the world. For Spirit is alive and well here at CSL Tahoe-Truckee. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. And so it is. All right. Okay. Well, I want to welcome all of you here. I don't see any new guests. We have some returning people, which is great. We're growing. It's post-COVID, and we're coming back. Yay! And and if you're online joining us, we'd love to see you in person, or you can continue being online. We have I want to thank some people that were here putting on the service today. I want to thank our wonderful musician, Kalyani. Thank you. Our Zoom host, Karen Heine, is here. Yes. Nothing went wrong today, except for me at the beginning. And so, she's doing a great job. Our practitioner, Nancy O'Neill. Thank you so much. And Nancy was also the lead on, and Penny did the hospitality, right? So there's lots of goodies from other people there too. So, but it's a wonderful, it's a grateful part of our service to have that hospitality right after the service. And if you're online, you can stay online for a while and speak with the other people that are online. Now, next Sunday, August 13th, my husband Michael and I, we're going to be coming back from Asilomar, which is this week. We're leaving on Tuesday morning. But Reverend Michael Benton from CSL Chico will be here, and he's speaking on Not Now, When. So the practitioner will be Brenda Haldorn, also the MC, and our musician will be Jared Namaste. So it's going to be a great morning. You can find information about our spiritual center and our activities online on our website. And the video recordings of our Sunday gathering and some meditations are also can be found on the website and our YouTube channel. One recording you might want to watch, again, is last week's Sunday's gathering, which was our congregational meeting to contemplate who we want to be as a spiritual center and how that might affect our decision to either get a new tenant or sell our building. So, there was wonderful comments by almost everybody that was here, and so we're really grateful that people, this is our center together, and so everyone's voice is important. August 16th board meeting, Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, we'll be talking about some additional research that we've done on possibilities about converting this space to residential or getting a commercial tenant or selling the options. How can this building best serve us as a spiritual center, right? So good discussion there. Now, our weekly e-bike group, I know this is a passion for a lot of people. And this Tuesday, August 8th, they'll be going from Doppler Hill to Ward Canyon and up the steeps here. So be prepared. And so they're going to be meeting at 9 o'clock this week. And so on the meeting at the Dollar Hill Trailhead, across from the 7-Eleven, right? And there's a second meeting spot, 64 acres for the West Shore people that want to join. Michael, as I said, Michael and I will be at the at Asilomar at the SOAR 2023. This is a CSL annual retreat, or semi-annual retreat, I guess, right? And it's you can still register if you want. I don't know if there's any housing left, but there you can find some places. And it's down in Pacific Grove, and just a wonderful time if you'd like to join us. And we've got 5 people, so Luna and Sue, Brenda, Michael, and I, and maybe some others that you might see, or some of your friends that have moved away to other centers might be there too. On Wednesday night, August 16th, from 6:30, is also the Red Tent, the monthly women's circle for the new moon, and they have a gathering at 6:30 of a potluck to share and some ritual to be together in that time with women. The Adopt a Highway is on Saturday the 19th, the third Saturday rather, at 9 o'clock, and we'll be meeting to clean up the highway This is a great way to give back to the environment. And if you're going to be your first time joining us, more people makes it a lot easier. Talk to Nancy O'Neill. There's a mandatory training safety video that you need to do in advance online. It's about 15, 20 minutes at the most, I think. And then we'll give you the hard hat and the grabbers and the vest, and it's fun to get outdoors together. Okay, now we have another event coming up. Is our annual drum circle, and it's going to be on the last Sunday of this month, and we're going to do it instead of our regular Sunday service. It'll be at 10 o'clock in the morning. And Jim Eaglesmith and Colleen Akiko are planning what this event is going to be, and I think the theme they've chosen is Sacred Unity. You know, it's going to be outdoors in the back, and we're on the traditional Washoe tribal lands, and so we're going to drum and sing our gratitude and prayers. And Jim is inviting us to celebrate moving from a pandemic of grief to what he calls a minddemic of boundless compassion and healing. And so drumming, chanting, and dancing have all been part of supporting life circles for centuries, right, from cultures all over the planet. So let's gather in unity. Right? There's be a scrumptious potluck afterwards, so bring a potluck dish, your own folding chair, although we can use some of these as well, and a drum, which is optional, but it'll make it a lot more fun if you have your own drum. Okay, now we also have, this fall is coming up, and we're going to have, there's 2 new classes that have come out with revised curriculum. So I want to get some input from people about which one that they would like to do. So the first one is it's called Infinite You in the Universe. And I've got an outline here if you want to take a look at it. It's a 6-week class, $195, a certified class. And it's based on the book, This Thing Called You. And there's a blue paperback copy, and I didn't look to see if we had one in the books. We did have one, but I think it might have gotten sold. But anyway, you can see this is very worn and marked up and so forth. But this is my favorite book of them all, by Ernest Holmes. It's just beautiful, inspiring poetry. And I know Nancy agrees with me. And so it's based on that book, and 6 weeks, and really get to go deeper and realize that infinite you as the universe, right? And then the other book, also this one is good for people that are new to science of mind and long-term, either way. The other book is called The Mystical Path, and it's based on the book The Mystic Heart, which is by Wayne Teasdale. And this book brings in all the different mystical traditions and so it's teaching from Hinduism and Buddhism and different teachers and mystics, and there's a lot of experiential things, bringing in new thought. I mean, Ernest Holmes was inspired by mysticism and meditation, so it's that's part of what made it new. So this is a 7-week class. There's too much to cover in 6 weeks, and so that one's also available. So you can take a look at these books, and there's a little bit more reading for the Mystic Heart, but they're like some short, like 20-page long articles, and a talk he gave at a Sillamar one time. So it's a wonderful. So anyway, and we'll probably start could be 2 weeks, could start in September, or it could wait until October 10th. I want to make sure that we're done by Thanksgiving. And Michael and I are taking a 2-week vacation because my son is getting married. So that'll be fun. So anyway, and we'll have a sign-up sheet, or talk to me if you have any questions, and I need to pick which class we're going to teach. All right. And it would be on Tuesday nights, 6 to 9 o'clock. So let me know if Tuesday works for you, or if we need another night. So we want to be flexible and serve everybody here. Okay. Now we also have our ongoing drop-in classes, which are also wonderful. So there's Tai Chi on Thursday afternoons online with Chris Worcester, and the meditation at 4:30 with Mary McEnany, and meditation in the Ananda style. And on Friday, the Course of Love class at 6:30 with Sue Pipel. So you can get more information in the links on our website or in the newsletter. All right. So it's time to bless our children. And if you would read along with me. We see you, we hear you, we love you. You are a gift from God, and so it is. All right. And so we also have our practitioners to support you. So if you would like a quick prayer, 5-minute miracle after the service, please speak to one of our practitioners. Our practitioner of the day was Nancy O'Neill. We also have Michael Brandman. I'm a practitioner. I think Carol Dalbon is online, and I think that's it. So anyway, you'll make our day. Please ask us for prayer. And you can make a longer appointment if you would like a session to really work on something more difficult, deep that you're working on, or maybe it's just letting that passion out, right? So, okay, we're going to have, if you would stand, we're going to have our closing song followed by our affirmation. And we're singing just the chorus. It's on the first one. There you go.
Not gonna cave into this pain in my heart. Not gonna listen to lies of self-hatred. Not gonna cry over yesterday's loss. Slip into darkness and wallow in pain. I've been there and done that, and I will not again. Instead, I'm gonna rise up with spirit. I'm gonna rise up, remembering who I am. I'll rise up with spirit. Now I surrender. I'm not gonna fear it. I'm gonna rise up with spirit. You see me sitting with a smile on my face, counting all of the blessings I'm given, learning to love me the way that He does. I'll open my heart and let it all in. I know it gets better with each moment I'm in. I win. I'm gonna rise up with spirit. I'm gonna rise up, remembering who I am. I'll rise up with spirit. Now I surrender. I'm not gonna fear it. I'm gonna rise up with spirit.
All right. We have our affirmation. Here we go. If you would read with me. I am an individual creation of life, born with passion. And so it is. Namaste.